Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Love Island Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. Great to speak to you again about a bit of Love Island after our time off yesterday for good behaviour.
Or it could simply be we couldn't find it, Dave, the episodes, but...
We can't talk about that.
You're sounding better, Dave, anyway. But yes, you are correct, Mr. Horrocks. We are doing a double episode review today. So we're looking at episode 9 and 10 of Love Island Australia. Oh, in fact, I didn't say Australia, actually, guys. So apologies. I've been mentioned that my impressions are fucking awful, but there you go. They're not going anywhere.
We forgot to offend everyone. So, so there you go, listeners.
Welcome to the show. So, Dave, we have got a lot to get through today. So what do you want me to start, or what do you want to start with today?
Well, I'd like to start with Eoghan and Jessie. So, I mean, yesterday we got them, they got to go into the hideaway, didn't they? And you're thinking, aye. And Jessie, by God, was looking pretty hot, I have to say, in her little white underwear number there. First thing Eoghan says is, I wish Matt was here.
As she's lay on top of him, straddled. And she's sort of straddling him as they sat up on the edge of the bed, and then she pushed him down. And obviously, you're thinking, aye, there's a bit of, dip your bread in, tell them nothing. And she went, do you really want Matt here now? And she's proper straddled across him. He's lay on the bed, and she's like, he went, yeah. And I was like, oh, mate, this isn't. And then he looked at her and went, you're looking all right now, actually. And I'm like, wow, what a fucking charmer. This is
you old smoothie, you.
I'm telling you, Dave, we've both said it about him. He's playing a fucking game, because why the hell? He goes in the hideaway and wants to sleep. There's something not right with this lad. He's either got a girlfriend on the outside, or he's simply not into it at all, because there's no way, with all the spiel he's given, and I don't give a fuck about the editing, he's an absolute wanker, this lad. I'm sticking to it. I don't care what anybody says or the pelters that get online. He's playing the game. And I know we'll get into today's episode as well, but my justification on going in on this guy is 100%. I'm not changing. He's a dickhead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm probably not going to be quite as harsh as that. I do think there is definitely something odd about that behavior. Now, and don't even tell me that, it's because he's being a gentleman or anything like that, because he just literally was not interested. It's not like he was sort of tempted and he was saying, no, come on, we need to be good. It was nothing like that. He just literally wasn't asked that she was there at all. And, that continued on through today. And, he's on the old truth bike. He gave some, not great answers. He absolutely didn't entertain the idea. He wasn't going to move from the Gold Coast, but kind of expects someone to move to him. Jessie really didn't like that. Then he's constantly putting his foot in it, mentioning Anna. It could be that he's just playing the game. I don't know exactly what the reasons are, but there is something just really, really off. And I don't think that Jessie's going to hang around for it.
No, and one thing I noticed, Dave, I know I mentioned that, and I know you've ripped me sometimes on this. I've mentioned that I have studied a bit of body language, but when he came out the hideaway in yesterday's episode, when he was talking to the guys and they were asking him about what did you do, and they're all there, aren't they, waiting for him to say, like, well, I got her in this position, I did this to her, I give her the time of her life. And he just went, yeah, I had a good sleep, really.
Had a good sleep.
Yeah. And then all the lads are like, oh, right, okay, yeah, anything else? Well, I had a nice breakfast. Yeah. And I'm thinking, but what he was doing is he was rubbing his left eye. And that's sort of like, please stop asking me questions. I really don't. I'm not interested in what you're saying. Basically, fuck off and leave me alone, because he's trying to work out what to say. And I picked up on that straight away. Like I say, I'm not an expert. I'm not professed to be. It's just studying stuff, reading books. It's just a few telltale signs to me. And he can't look her in the eye, because when he said to her today, and you're right, the truth bike, he said, like, if Jessie went, would you get with Anna? And he was like, do I press yes or no? Well, you're pressing, if he's trying to play the game, or he's trying to keep Jessie on side to stay in there, he should have pressed yes. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, and he didn't. And I think he's doing that just to get more airtime, Dave, more TV. They know that a bit of controversy gets you there. He's thinking of his career outside, and I just think he's downright disrespectful to the girl. She's gone all in on him, and he's just been an absolute cock. And he just said to her, like, well, she said, well, you said you didn't want to move and stuff. And he said, well, I've got my career all mapped out. You know, if I love a girl, then it'd be different. I'd move hell and high water. I'm thinking, fucking hell, mate, your line of patter towards somebody is terrible. I mean, to me, it's arrogant. And I think Jessie's onto it. I think she said, didn't she, in the diary room, like, oh, so it's sort of like I've got to come to him and you've got to bow down. And that is not any way you treat a woman, Dave, at all.
He definitely, he sees himself as the alpha male, and he is definitely, you know, everyone needs to run around after him, you know,
Yeah.
and he really didn't like it. I can't remember exactly what Jessie's comment was. She made a comment about Josh getting her heart racing or something, and he just really didn't like that, you know, because it felt it painted him in a bad light.
Yeah.
And that's the only emotion you sort of see out of him when his image is threatened.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I thought that was quite, again, disrespectful and quite controlling, to be honest. He was making her apologise for something that was nothing. She was playing the game. And I'm thinking, you've been disrespectful to her pretty much the whole time you've been together, but she's like a little puppy dog, and she's got a real thing for him. You know, she obviously thinks he's the catch of the house, and I just think he's a dick. And I do think, hopefully, Jessie will move on from him, because he doesn't deserve to be with her, and I don't think he deserves to be in the house, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. It provides a bit of drama, doesn't it?
I just wish his fucking shit Liam Neeson accent would fuck off, to be honest, Dave. I just don't like him. I'm sorry, I don't.
I don't know. I watched this space, I think. You know, I did think the Matt comment was very, very strange. So maybe he wanted to get greased up and spend a bit of time with Matt in the hideaway. I don't know.
Well, you talk about Vanessa and Matt, Dave. I mean, I missed something. I know we've talked about, like, Phoebe. We've talked before we recorded about Phoebe's one who dropped in there, that Vanessa is a player. She goes out a lot of celebrities. She hangs out at all these haunts, and she's a bit of goes from one relationship to another, and it's all about sort of profile and stuff. But you'd call her a wag in the UK, wouldn't you? Like a football wag. She basically, they get with these people because they've got money and the profile and social media status and the career it can lead to, just being on the arm.
Used to call them it girls in my day.
Yeah, that's the one, Dave. But it's true, isn't it? So she's saying, like, she's a player, but I don't know where the hell this come from. Was it from the twins they were saying that they brought it in? Because it just seemed to...
I thought it was just from Phoebe. Now, I don't know how Phoebe knew this.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, she's gone out. I felt that was a bit unfair. You know, I thought she hadn't been there long. She put all her eggs in the Cassie basket, and then I don't think, you know, she hadn't been gone 2 seconds, and I don't think anyone was asked, were they? So, you know, I thought that was all a bit harsh. But I don't know where she's got this information, but, you know, from this series of Love Island, from previous series of Love Island, you see that there's this little group of, like, Instagram socialites, and they seem to kind of know each other and know each other's business. So, you know, I don't think it's that unrealistic to think that Phoebe knows her on the outside, you know, or knows of her. And then it did all seem to emanate from her. And then Anna, though, shot up, you know, and legged it over to Matt. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, Matt's my friend. Think about it. You only got here, like, a few days ago. When did this friendship happen? Because you can't just be talking about, like, when you walked in a few days ago and now you're best lifetime friends. You know, she seemed a bit quick to go and stir the shit for me.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I give her fair props when Vanessa asked her. She didn't lie. She just said we're talking about what's going round. And when in yesterday's episode, Vanessa and Matt had that relationship, and I know I've gone in on Matt, I did feel quite sorry for him. And it was one of these where she wasn't really crying, Dave. I didn't think there was any tears, and I know you when we spoke yesterday, you said like I think there was a bit of a tears, but I don't think there was. I think it was just, in my view, I just thought it was bullshit. And then today you get good old fucking Owen, who missed him in the hideaway, saying, well, he's not very clever, really. She's really clever and conniving, Vanessa. And I'm like, oh, just put your mate down again. You have a way with women, you've done. You know what I mean? Have you got any friends or have you had a relationship? Because everything he says, he's just so harsh and cutting. I don't think he realises what he's saying.
To be fair, I think he's nailed that one, though, hasn't he? I absolutely felt sorry for Matt as well, because I do believe his kind of feelings are genuine, but I can't be hypocritical. I've said many times that the lights are on, but no one's home, and, he just has that kind of vacant expression. It's like when you see Homer Simpson and someone's asking him a question and you get a little monkey, dancing or something. I think she is a bit smarter than him. I did think that she was welling up, but the reasons for that, I don't know if it's just because of Matt. I think she seemed to get more upset about the idea that everyone's talking about her and doesn't think she's genuine, and possibly might think, might be onto her. So, I mean, I don't know if what they're saying is true. I do know there's huge question marks around it, and at least I don't have to fucking suffer them talking about them being the strongest couple anymore for a little while.
No. I mean, to be fair to Owen, Dave, give him a bit of credit. You are right. He did mention as well that he said it to Jessie, like, she doesn't speak to him all day. She ignores him for 4 hours and then just comes along at the end and gives him a bit of a kiss. So I think that's what we'd both said, whether it was editing or whether it was true. But they were a power couple where they didn't do anything other than spend the night together, didn't they? They didn't really do anything in the day. They're not in love, or like you can see with Adam and Cartier.
Well, Adam certainly has no time for Vanessa, does he?
No.
And I think I kind of trust him a little bit more. I don't know why. Again, you're watching an edited show. He might just be playing the game a bit better than everyone else. But he was saying to Matt, that Matt's sort of chasing her around like a puppy dog, and she's just not really giving him anything. So I don't know. A lot of question marks around Vanessa, and certainly around those two, because nothing's resolved. Matt and Vanessa have had a couple of chats, but nothing's really resolved. Matt's saying, he's over it and just get rid of all the petty stuff. I don't know. And Vanessa definitely, we know Vanessa holds a grudge. So this one's going to come back again and again, I think.
It is. And going off the truth bike, as we mentioned, Adam and Cartier, Dave, how can a couple be so loved up and then they go on a fake bike where they've got to press a horn and a bell, ruin your relationship because you can't go to mass? Now, we're not going to get religious or anything like that. I grew up a Catholic, Dave. My family, my dad's not Catholic at all, but unfortunately, where we lived in Manchester, the best schools were Catholic. So we ended up going to a Catholic school. My mum's Catholic, my granddad from Ireland, they were Catholic. So it's sort of in the family, half a Church of England, half a Catholic. I am not religious one bit, Dave. I was an altar boy, and I only did it because I got paid £1.20 a week for serving mass, and they got the odd wedding and funeral, and you get a bit of dough there, which is bad. But when the oldest of 5 kids, then I'm the oldest of 9 now. I was 5 at that point, oldest of 5 kids. There wasn't a lot of money going around, so I was an altar boy because it was only could really make cash. And I grew up religious. I wouldn't grow up. I was taught religion, and I did get a merit, Dave, actually, in the Welsh Certificate Board for Religious Studies, actually, as a GCSE. Mm-hmm. But that means absolutely nothing because I've never gone to mass properly since I was probably at school. At teenage years, we used to have to go once every blue moon, like Ash Wednesday or whatever, Easter and all that stuff. I genuinely don't buy into it. What I don't, and Sam isn't either. Her mum does. Sam's mum does. I'm just giving a bit of context to this. But what I found a bit strange is Cartier's religious. I have no problem with that. You can You can believe in whatever religion you are, whether you're a Catholic, you're Muslim, it doesn't matter what you are, Dave. That is who you believe in. I have no problem with that whatsoever. What I have a problem with is the fact that she literally had a face like a slapped arse because they're not his views. He did say he grew up in the Catholic Church, but he wouldn't be going. I had a problem with that, thinking, well, that's not fair. Why should he be forced to go to Mass? And that's going to ruin your relationship. I mean, she was saying it's the wrong time for them sort of questions. She's right, but I'm like, well, it wouldn't bother me if Sam was religious. She's got a Mass. I'd be like, well, toodle piff. I'll see you in an hour. I'm not coming. You know what I mean? Like,
PlayStation, here we come.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get a bit of FIFA on or Gears of War. Yeah, I'm on it. But it's true. I mean, Jordan went to a Catholic school. We had to go to a Holy Communion, a confirmation, all that thing. I genuinely, that was the only time we went there because you have to play the game, unfortunately. It's sad, I know, but it's not my thing. So I was a bit pissed off because being someone who was sort of forced to go to all these things as a kid, thinking, why would you be so upset that just it's important to you? You should respect his views. Like he should respect hers. He should respect the fact that she's religious and go, no problem. Like he said, I'll go because it's her. But I don't know what your views on that. I'm not trying to get too deep on it because it isn't what the podcast is about, but it really pissed me off, to be honest.
I think it's going to be a problem for them. I think, and again, it's funny. These little lies that you kind of tell partners, or little ways of asking or answering a question that leaves a little bit of wiggle room. See, up until having a face like a slapped arse, as you just put it there, Adam's response to the question, she's asked the question, whether, she stated that she wants to make sure her partner is respectful of her and her faith and her religion. And that's fine. And I think he absolutely is. There's a massive difference between that, though, and being dragged to Sunday school or whatever.
Yeah.
Cast my mind back to kids there. But yeah, and then even when they had, and he sought her out, he saw that she was upset and and I think it was bloody a bit unfair. It is a bit early, but that's why we have stuff like the truth bike, isn't it? It's create a bit of drama. There was the way she said, he says he respects, what I'm doing, and that's okay for now. And I was like, oh, here we go. You think you're going to change him.
Yeah.
Don't just fucking accept that that's his position. I'm going to fucking grind him down. And that annoyed me as well. No, it doesn't sound like quite as much as you, but I just thought, no, that's the only kind of area where they look at that could be a real problem for them. And I'm of exactly the same position as you, Chris. If you want to go and do it, absolutely fine with that. And on occasion, if you want to drag me along to support you, absolutely fine with that as well. But, don't force me into your belief system. And I think maybe that's just a little bit of a naivety thing, Chris. How old is she? She's like 21 or something like that.
Yeah.
She's around the 20 mark, isn't she? She may even be 19 or something. So I don't know. I think with all religions, we'd have a lot less problems in the world if everyone was just a bit more fucking tolerant of everyone else.
Exactly. My religion is supporting Manchester United, Dave, and my fucking church is falling down all around me. So let's not talk about that. But just
we might have to talk about that Sunday night.
Yeah. Fuck you, Dave. You're a Liverpool fan, yeah. But just going back to something you said, I think you make a very good point, and I just want to tell you a little story, Dave. You said about these white lies that you tell within a relationship when you first get together. And I think that's right, Dave, because to be fair, I did tell Sam that I had a 12-inch cock, Dave. And when she saw me naked, she realised my nose was bigger than my cock. But anyway, it worked 20 years later, Dave, and we're still going strong. They just call me Woody WoodPecker, Dave.
Oh dear. Trying to have a serious debate here. You and your fucking cock jokes.
Yeah, but they're at my fucking expense. I'm taking a piss out myself.
It's because I mentioned wiggle room, isn't it?
That was it, yeah. My head had gone then, Dave.
Oh dear. Well, getting off the prickly and landmine-filled area of religion, can I just make a statement? Sometimes on this podcast, we make snap judgments about people, and then, several days or weeks later, we see a bit more footage, we get more data points to collect, and then we go, oh, you know what? I had this person wrong. Maurice, I called out as being an utter knobsock on like the first episode, I think. And you know what? I have absolutely not moved from that position at all. Only it's just solidified from I really think this guy is a knobsock to he is a total, utter knobsock. And again, it just winds me up about his communication. And he's talking to Cynthia and saying, yeah, we're good, aren't we? Yeah. And she's just so not interested. You can just tell. But I mean, what do you make to the old? Well, there might be a new triangle there, mightn't there? So we've got Maurice, Cynthia, and Gerard. So what do you make to those three?
I think the Gerard thing was pretty obvious today's episode. Her and Anna were talking, Cynthia and Anna, and he came in and she just went all gooey-eyed, didn't she? He's like, good day, like, I told you, Dave, another bad impression, but good day, and then she's like, hi.
Better than the fucking Cockney one.
What are you trying to say, Dave? That was an Aussie, that, by the way. But no, she went, hi, how you doing? And she's proper goo-eyed with Gerard. And there seems like a nice little bit of chemistry there. Maurice, I don't know what's going on, Dave. I just keep expecting him to pull out a flip chart and start trying to sell him something, because he's just an absolute
timeshare.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's just, he shouldn't be, because he's a good-looking lad. I think naturally he's probably the most chiseled one out of all the lads, as in,
yeah,
he looks like you see a Calvin Klein model or something, Dave. He is a good-looking lad, but there's fuck all there behind them eyes, because his personality is not coming across very well at all.
Yeah, but I don't honestly think Gerard's that interested in anything romantic with Cynthia. So I think she might be let down there as well, to be honest.
I know. It's a shame, really, because she seems quite a bubbly girl as well, doesn't she? I mean, yeah, we'll see how that
tops are getting lower and lower every episode. I tell you that much.
Yeah, that's true, that, Dave. Yeah. Moving swiftly on, Dave.
Moving swiftly on from that. And yeah, I couldn't tell if, Anna, she didn't seem to shed too much of a tear after the recoupling, did she? She wasn't bothered about Gerard at all.
No,
and I couldn't help but feel that she is a bit of a shit stirrer. She says she's a matchmaker, but again, really, I think she's one of those people who just likes to get herself all up in everyone else's business. The running over to Matt thing, the trying to be coy with Cynthia over Gerard, and she says in the diary room, "Oh yeah, I'm a bit of a matchmaker." I hear shit stirrer, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not really warming to Anna, to be honest. I think she's going to cause trouble in the villa.
I agree, Dave. I think she's been out of order. And more importantly, Luke and obviously Josh are now with Cassie. Luke's with Cassie and Josh is with Anna. And those two lads, a good set of lads, to be fair. I'm quite enjoying them being in there. They seem quite genuine. There was a bit of a dance-off, but my God, neither of them can make a fucking fried egg, Dave, can they? I mean, it wasn't...
pathetic, wasn't it? I mean, there's not many things where, I watch Love Island and think I could do that much better, but I can make fucking eggs a lot better than that.
I know we all do it. We've all cracked the yolk and all that stuff, but it wasn't the best, was it? And she even said that, you can't say like, oh, one was too salty and one was like slop. And I was like, I love eggs. I have eggs every day, Dave. I have at least an egg and a couple of egg whites. And I'm like, I was gagging going, yeah. All right,
nasty, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't good. But Cassie's obviously got a man now. She had a bit of a kiss with Luke. He put it on her straight in there. And it made me laugh when he kissed her and he said, well, that's it now. Josh can't go near you. I was like, wow.
I'm glad they got one of them to shave their heads. Even though, that dance-off it just reminded me of the In-Betweeners.
That's brilliant, that. That's brilliant, Dave. I remember going to Benidorm in '98, and there was 4 of us. And my mate Gary had never, ever been out in his life. And when I watched that in-betweeners bit when they go across the dance floor, all he did all night, Gaz, was he never got pissed. He was about 16. I was 17. And one of my mates, our Adam was with us, he was 16. And he should have actually been practicing for his GCSEs day, but we decided to go on holidays to Benidorm, because that's how important it was to go away with the lads. And all he did was dance around this like sort of post in the middle of the nightclub in Benidorm, called the Beachcomber Bar. And it's exactly like the In-Betweeners. There was 4 of us doing the most ridiculous dance. Me and my brother thought we were in the Prodigy and probably looked like we were having some sort of epileptic fit. One of my mates was just like dancing in a squat position, and Gary just kept going around the circle. We probably looked like we were on a day retreat from home or something, but it just reminds me of the
late 90s. I bet you'd have had the curtains and everything.
Oh yeah, Dave. I've still got them flowing locks. The curtains are there, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Oh, never forget it. Never forget it. So
awesome.
Yeah. I can't say anything about dancing, so I never comment because I'm fucking useless. So yeah.
Very good. Very good.
So, guys, if you want to get in contact with the show, on Twitter, at Love Island Cast. If you want to email the show, the loveislandcast@gmail.com. Please sending us all your feedback and whether you agree or disagree on them channels, because we do like a bit of a debate and we don't take ourselves too seriously. So if you're going to go in on us, send it over. It's not a problem. And if you do like the show, get onto your podcast catching app, guys, and just drop us a review. It just helps us grow and gets us out there. And I think at the moment, we are the only Love Island podcast. So if there is friends of yours who are watching Love Island Australia or the UK or US, tell them about us and get them listening. All right, guys. So Dave, thank you again today, my friend. And I'll leave it with you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Chris. And also just a reminder, if you're listening to us through Anchor, you can go on there and leave a voicemail. And what would be fantastic, and probably no one will pick me up on this, but if you could leave a voicemail with your best Ray Winston / Aussie accent, just give us a few statements like me and Chris have been doing, and I'm sure that we'll have a good laugh.
Yeah, we'll play him on the show as well, because it can't be any worse than what we've tried to do with this one, haven't we? So thanks very much, Dave.
The worse the accent, the better. If you come on and you sound like Chris Helmsworth, that's very impressive, but I'm more interested in the terrible ones like me and Chris have been doing.
I'll see you next time.
Bye now.